our banking systems, anything that we are willing to support, is only somebody that's going to start a business, so they are the only ones that get rich, while they can get a bunch of people that are willing to work for next to nothing. I mean, our wages are not what they, our purchasing power is going lower and lower and lower. And our wages are going lower and lower. Why? Because you're listening to the guys that have the money, that want you to create laws for them to continue getting away with everything they're getting away with. Now, I've put business plans together. I kind of see that the way we have our corporate structures, our businesses, is kind of wrong. So I want to earn my living through more of a nonprofit mentality. I can earn a nice living through helping other people. I can put a lot of other people to work through designing a system that way. But that's being prevented. Nobody wants to fund a good idea that ends up putting people back to work. So I ended up starting this YouTube channel. Within a few months, I'm getting close to over 100,000 views. I'm getting a lot of people subscribed to my channel. Clearly, some of the things I'm saying are at one with a lot of people. Clearly, a lot of people are starting to see that what we tend to believe to be true isn't necessarily true. I've offered to volunteer within our welfare system to help other people that are on this welfare system how to get off it. That's being refused because we don't necessarily want other people to know the truth about things. We don't want people to know they have a full potential. We don't want people to listen to their intuition. This is being suppressed so that we can go to work for next to nothing and think we're doing well. And eventually that game is going to end. And we're going to see that we're destroying ourselves by believing in that mentality. The way we live our lives right now is the way we're killing ourselves. Cancer. The Cancer Society is openly admitting that more than 50% of all cancers are curable. Yet there's very, very little money being donated into that area. Why? Because the only way that you're going to cure, and yes, cure cancer, is by figuring out what causes cancer and changing your life behaviors. Most cancers are caused by our corporate world putting toxins into our air, into our food, and we get clusters of people getting cancer not knowing why they got cancer. And you can't even go into a court system and prove it because our court systems can't recognize that a poison actually causes cancer. I mean, that's proven even with tobacco. Has the tobacco industry been recognized that smoking causes cancer? And are we now stopping the selling of something that causes cancer? No. We get taxed too much. The government earns money from that too much. We earn our money by doing everything that's wrong, and we don't know how to earn our money by doing things that are right. And just because government doesn't see it, and just because the general taxpayer doesn't see it, doesn't mean it's not there. Every single problem that we experience has a solution. 99% of everything in reality is invisible. There's a solution to everything, but it's invisible because we can't comprehend what the solution actually is. I'd really like to know why our media isn't covering the news, covering the truth. I'd really like to know why our marketing industry is allowed to use heavy brainwashing techniques to motivate people to purchase things they don't really need. You don't really want that information out, because if we actually started controlling what information we tell people, then the rich people won't get rich off of doing things that are wrong. We can do things that are right. We can have an economic system by doing everything that's right, but we don't want to jump into the solutions. We don't really want to see people get healthy. We don't really want to see people get off a welfare system. I mean, can you not see the insanity of that? Is life all about dying? Is the biggest profit you can make is off of people's death? And then, you know, if that's true, then we're motivated to kill people because there's profit in it. And we're not going to stop make any laws that stop people from killing anybody because they're profiting from it. It's creating our economic systems. It's making this motor run. We have systems that can clean all toxic wastes, but that's not being funded. I personally know there's free energy machines, but that's not being funded. I know people would get healthier if they had better information, but that information is not being given. Right now, through my YouTube channel, I've offered, you know, the opportunity for people to give donations to help support what it is I'm doing, which would get me off of a welfare system. I believe in honesty. I reported it. And then I'm finding out there's a little bit of a problem with me collecting money. And yet your system says I'm entitled to earn $500 a month. Why is it that I can only earn $500 a month in a specific way? I mean, isn't it creative for me to earn that $500 in no matter what way? And if the way that I earn my living ends up getting me off a welfare system, don't you think Canadians should support that? Don't you think our government systems should support me in whatever way I end up getting myself off a welfare system? Why are there so many blocks in doing the right thing? Why are there's so much effort to keep me on a welfare system? I'm only on this system because there are a lot of laws that weren't followed. And I trusted and believed in all of these laws. And Canadians are not going to wake up to that until it hits them in their own backyard. And there's a wave of a global depression coming on. It's going to hit Canadians. So it's going to hit a lot of other people. But they won't recognize it. They won't wake up to it until it hits them in their own face. They will not believe other people's stories. For the most part, a lot of people that are on a welfare system kind of lose their mind because they kind of see, oh my God, is the system ever screwed up? And then we get so friggin' angry that, okay, we appear like we got anger management problems. And it's like, if you walked in my shoes, you'd be just as angry as I was. Okay, the cure wanted me to calm down. So I'm a lot calmer. Now I'm communicating a lot more effectively. So what type of communication do I need in order to get government to support me to help me get off a welfare system? Or is the goal strictly to cut me off and not provide any form of income so that I'm homeless? Because my disability now means I can't go out into that workforce in the way it's set up right now. My disability says as soon as I'm stressed, all of my medical problems that have me on a disability start showing up. When I have no stress, all of those medical problems go away. So it's kind of clear that I have to follow my own path. I have to do what I know I'm naturally good at doing because my health improves when I do that. Yet the government doesn't want to support that. Do Canadian taxpayers want to support that? Do Canadian taxpayers want to see me off a welfare system? Do Canadian taxpayers want to hear a little bit about the truth? Do Canadian taxpayers want to know how a lot of illnesses can be cured? Do a lot of Canadians want to know how laws are not being enforced? Just asking the question. because I would really like to be off this welfare system. I would really like to be productive. I would really like to put something positive into the country I'm living in. So I'm kind of looking for a little support here. When will that support show up?